Poussin's landscape with the body of Phocion carried out of Athens does not go out of its way to make itself accessible, as you can probably guess from the title. It's a dark painting, and although some of the pigments will have darkened over time, it was probably a dark painting when it was made. It has a narrative, but the story is obscure. No one had painted it before Poussin, and few have tried since. It is the funeral of a traitor. Phocion lived in Athens in the 4th century BCE, at the time of Alexander the Great, when Macedonia was the great power in Greece. Sometimes he fought the Macedonians, sometimes he made deals with them. Plutarch, from whom Poussin got the story, describes him as incorruptible but stern and unpopular. This led to him eventually being tried for treason on trumped-up charges and condemned to death. He was denied burial in Athenian territory as part of his punishment, and his friends kept away for fear of suffering the same fate. So 2 hired men carried his body to neighbouring Megara, where his body was burnt. This is the moment Poussin has chosen to depict. It's a curious choice. The painting shows the confrontation between the 2 main protagonists, but one is the city of Athens, an abstraction, and the other is a corpse. Visually, neither of them can do anything, which is a problem, and Poussin responded to this by diffusing the action into the landscape. The central vertical axis puts Athens at the top and Phocion at the bottom. Just outside the city is a large tomb, a reminder of what Phocion has been denied. And in the space between Athens and Phocion, ordinary life goes on. Here a shepherd leans on his staff in the shade, watching his flock. Over there a cart driver has climbed down to urge on his stubborn oxen, pulling on their harness, while a man on horseback gallops towards him. On a sunlit mound beyond the track, a group of poets or philosophers, one playing a lyre, contemplate the scene, or their own thoughts. Other travellers or strollers meet on other paths, walking to or from or around the city. Kneeling by the bright shore of a lake, a little further back, 2 women wash clothes, and behind them, beside a grand temple, a religious procession parades a golden statue accompanied by trumpets. All these peaceful, mundane activities vividly demonstrate the indifference of the people to Phocion's fate. And the city itself is hard, nearly all wall. There are barely any windows to be seen. It has sealed itself against the traitor. To make the confrontation between Phocion and Athens work, Poussin needed the city to be large enough to be felt as a presence, almost a physical pressure on Phocion's body, yet at the same time it needed to be far enough away for Phocion's expulsion to be felt as a loss. To do this, Poussin has squeezed the middle distance into a set of interlocking planes and zigzagging paths. The city looks close, but if you try to follow a path with your finger, you get nowhere. Look again at that galloping rider. Is he riding towards Athens or away from it? There's no way of telling from the painting. And all this matters because Poussin shows that the place where something happens is not just a neutral setting, but is part of the happening. In this case, the landscape is the main actor, and this affects the way we look at all landscape pictures. Take this photo by Gregory Crewdson, for example. Like the Poussin, it shows the edge of a settlement, with the train tracks marking a limit. It's a summer evening, and people are out and about, holding hands, walking, or just hanging about. We can speculate about the relationships between the people we see, but we don't know enough about them to say anything with certainty. The place looks like part of the Rust Belt. There are signs of industry and also of dereliction and neglect. As with Poussin, horizontals dominate the foreground of Crewdson's picture. People move this way and that, but they get no closer to or further from the city. The setting externalises their situation of living in a place that progress has passed by. The landscape, then, is emotional as much as topographical. Or look at Jeff Wall's photo, An Eviction, which, like the Poussin, is about the ejection of a body from a city. There is this same sense of quiet normality in the rest of this suburban street, where life goes on behind the white picket fence. albeit momentarily disturbed by an act of violence. Like Poussin, Wall uses the distant view of the city to contextualise the conflict between individual and economic system and the massive asymmetry of power this entails. Cruton's and Wall's photographs are not, as far as I know, conscious responses to Poussin's, but they rely on viewers who scan the landscape and understand the relation between things in human terms. And these are the same skills that have been nurtured over the centuries by painters like Poussin. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, or visit my channel, Think of a Picture, where you'll find lots more like this. Thank you.